We're here with the second video of the day. We're going to talk about the protesting that's happened in Philadelphia mostly, but it's also starting to happen in, Chicago, New York, and a bunch of big cities and, mostly blue states. And, they're rioting, looting, and even younger individuals are now starting to get injured. Up first, we got Fox News. Philadelphia reels from second night of unrest. Nearly a dozen shot as victim's family pleads for peace. Early Tuesday night, Walter Wallace Jr.'s father pleaded for the public to stop the violence and destruction. Nearly a dozen people, including a 15-year-old, were shot overnight after looting and rioting in Philadelphia erupted for a second straight night despite pleas for peace from the family of a black man whose police-related death sparked the unrest. About 1,000 people took the streets of the city of brotherly love late Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning, reportedly to demand justice for the death of Walter Wallace Jr., who was fatally shot by police on Monday. And most of these stores have just been ransacked. You can see a Walmart here has just been completely ransacked. I saw a video of one guy literally dollying a washing machine away. Yeah, you're really fighting that racial injustice by stealing that washing machine, bro. Instead, the protest quickly devolved into violent riots and looting of stores across the city. Crowds of dozens were seen ransacking local and big-name stores, including a Walmart and a Foot Locker. Earlier Tuesday, Wallace's father, Walter Wallace Sr., condemned any violence made in the name of justice for his son. "I don't condone no violence, tearing up the city, looting of the stores," he told reporters. "I would feel like everybody having respect for my family and my son to stop this violence and chaos that's going on in the city with people that have businesses." They don't care. They're opportunists, and it's opportunists with Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and they just want power. They want, they see any sort of, I guess, justification in their eyes, and they believe that they can just loot and riot absolutely everything in the name of justice against police brutality. So by making yourselves more criminals, you're fighting police brutality? Why not just having a conversation with people? Nah, it's easier just to go dolly a washing machine away instead. He asked people to stop the violence, to help my son and help my family. "That's all I'm sending out is an SOS to help, not to hurt, and cause no chaos, violence, looting, firing." Wallace Sr. continued, "I was brought up like this, and I worked 33 years with the city, with the street department, picking up trash to try to keep this city clean." Here, Walter Wallace Sr., you seem to be a pretty solid man, and I'm respecting your words here that, you don't want the violence, and this isn't justified. And especially if you've worked 33 years trying to clean up the city just to now see it be completely destroyed over your own child's death, that's got to be a pain I don't even know if I could imagine right now. I feel sorry for Walter Wallace Sr. having to, try to go through all this for the family and everything too. Because, Black Lives Matter is just basically using them at this point to get their way. Says the destruction seen in the cities was at times coupled with violence and other crimes. Local media reported at least 11 people were wounded during the overnight violence, with one Philadelphia officer saying looters were shooting looters, according to Fox 29's Steve Keeley. Oh, sorry, burp. In one instance, thieves allegedly stole a 50-year-old man's car after he had filled it with items that he had stolen from the stores, Keeley reported. Yeah, so, okay, that was a little bit funny because the guy called the police saying my car has been stolen after he was done looting and rioting. Oh, that's some just desserts right there, right? Says at least two of the wounded victims were juveniles, including... Oh, oops, I missed a bit. In one instance... Oh, I guess, never mind, I didn't miss a bit. At least two of the wounded victims were juveniles, including a 15-year-old girl, according to the Daily Caller's Shelby Talcott. A Philadelphia Police Department spokesperson did not immediately respond to Fox News requests seeking comment regarding arrests and injuries early Wednesday morning. By 9:40 p.m. Tuesday, Philadelphia's Office of Emergency Management asked that all residents in certain areas of the city stay inside unless necessary. These areas are experiencing widespread demonstrations that have turned violent with looting, the department wrote on Twitter. So we'll get into kind of what everyone else is kind of saying now, besides, Fox News. We'll see what Breitbart's saying. Even... Oh, never mind. I was about to say even USA Today here, but this is a little bit different than what the pro saying. It's a little bit update news on Kyle Rittenhouse, and we'll get to that. Here we got from Breitbart, watch looters flood Philadelphia area Walmart after breaking pipes. Yeah, it looks like you can see water in the background there just spraying out as well. Looters in the Port Richmond neighborhood of Philadelphia ransacked a Walmart during the second night of protesting. The shooting of an armed black man on the city's west side. Rioters broke pipes in the ceiling, flooding the store. I will say, when they do say armed black man, I guess he was armed, but it was a knife, not a gun. Just a little bit of verification there. Fox 29 reporter Steve Keeley tweeted a video from inside the pillaged Walmart early Wednesday morning. The footage shows the devastation left behind by looters who stole everything from big screen televisions to small appliances. Water seen spraying from pipes in the ceiling. Looters trashed the store, knocking merchandise off the shelves. Keeley said vandals were still taking merchandise while he filmed the damage. And that's early up into the morning. They were going all night, just stealing whatever they wanted. Earlier, hundreds of people invaded the store and could be seen attempting to load multiple big screen televisions into or onto vehicles. And most of these people then will just sell them off. They'll sell them onto eBay, Craigslist, whatever. They're just going to sell all these TVs off, maybe keep one or two of them. The unrest began after two officers. Oh, we know. Wallace continued approaching the retreating officers. Yeah. We know that information about what actually happened. I mean, I guess if you don't, I guess I could go over it a bit. Walter Wallace Jr. was advancing on police officers. They told him to put the knife down, to stop, and he didn't, and then they shot him. I mean, they're not going to take a chance. He was about 10 feet away. That's way too close for any person to get with a knife, considering 20 feet is like the minimum, like not safe distance, so to speak. Because within 20 feet, they can get there in a matter of seconds and stab you. It's not great. Here we got from Post Millennial, 15-year-old girl shot, journalist assaulted amid looting and rioting in Pennsylvania. 15-year-old girl and 18-year-old man were shot Tuesday night in the Port Richmond neighborhood of Philadelphia while rioting, looting, and civil unrest continued after the police shooting of Walter Wallace on Monday. The girl was shot in the side and the man was shot in the arm. Both were taken to a nearby hospital and are in stable condition. According to local news, it is unclear at this time as to what triggered the double shooting. The shooting happened near Aramingo and Castor Avenues near the shopping center where there was extensive looting. Elijah Schaefer of The Blaze reported that he was assaulted by looters in the Five Below as he filmed them robbing the store. Shelby Talcott of the Daily Caller documented his injuries. Says, this is the footage he was recording when BLM assaulted me. Other journalists were filming, but I was the only white person in the store. I do believe I was targeted for being white as they accused me of being a white supremacist, and I did not attack people of color. Yeah, I mean, these Black Lives Matter supporters just seem to believe that all white people are white supremacists and inherently evil, and that's one of the big issues, I guess, with the movement that a lot of people have is that, boy, that sounds pretty racist. That you now are just attacking white people for the color of their skin because you believe they're all white supremacists. That's pretty racist. You can see some of the photos here. You got a little bit hurt, fat lip, not really too bad though. Schaefer stood in the parking lot of the shopping center and described what happened to him when he was assaulted by filming BLM looters in a Five Below store. He said it was ransacked and completely looted. The looting was extensive, and one man was seen wheeling away a new washing machine. Yeah, it was literally during a news broadcast. You just see a guy with a dollar just pushing the washing machine down. He's like, I don't care. It's my washing machine now. Inside Walmart, alarms blared as people took what they wanted and left the store. In trying to contain the situation on Armingo Avenue, police commanders said it had rapidly gone downhill. Multiple stores have been completely emptied out by looters protesting against police. Happened on the other side of town in West Philadelphia near 52nd and Chestnut. Apparently there was like 30 different locations that all this rioting and looting was happening. It was all throughout Philadelphia. This wasn't localized to just, say, one street or one small area. It was all over the place that there was some form of conflict. Here we got from Daily Caller, exclusive videos. Police unable to handle Philadelphia looters as businesses get ransacked. Police in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania were unable to handle swarms of looters Tuesday evening as parts of the city devolved into unrest following an officer-related shooting Monday. We know that. The evening began with a large peaceful protest in West Philadelphia's Malcolm X Park, just blocks away from where Wallace was shot. Protesters took turns giving speeches as others attended a memorial where the incident occurred, releasing blue and white balloons into the sky at one point. Thought you guys didn't like blue. Whatever. Speeches turned to marching in the early evening, and West Philadelphia remained tense but largely peaceful, according to reporters on the ground. Bouts of infighting occasionally broke up the peace, and the marching group quickly split into two, with one crowd breaking off to head towards a police precinct. That crowd was soon met by a wall of police officers, and an hours-long standoff would ensue. Meanwhile, just over 10 miles away within Philadelphia, mass unrest and looting overwhelmed police officers on a busy shopping street in the Port Richmond neighborhood. Reporters witnessed stores such as Walmart and Dollar Tree being broken into as clumps of police officers watched nearby, unable to adequately respond. Yeah, I mean, if there's like 1,000 looters trying to, you're not going to stop anyone. You try stopping one of them and they all attack you. The police kind of almost have to let it happen at this point, especially since we're not giving them the resources to handle this. I mean, at least not yet. Apparently, the National Guard is being called in now, and because this is getting way too out of hand. And it was happening all over the place in Philadelphia at that point. So, we got from Gateway Pundit, looter calls Philly police to report looting after fellow looters steal his car. This is Philadelphia after the first night of violent rioting. Governor Wolf defended peaceful protest. Peaceful protests. So looters hit at least 20 more stores in the second night of looting. It was so bad a looter with a car full of stolen merchandise was robbed by looters. Police were called. I mean, if you're gonna loot a bunch, then don't get mad and call the police then when you get your crap stolen. I mean, that's karma. That's literally karma just at work right there. That's just funny to me. You can see reporter in Philadelphia says Black Lives Matter rioters are specifically targeting and attacking white people. I mean, he said he was the only one in the store that was white, and they were calling him white supremacist before they attacked him. So, I mean, it kind of seems racially motivated, to be honest. Which, I'm pretty sure that's a hate crime, isn't it, guys? So I guess Black Lives Matter, while they're rioting and looting, are allowed to also commit hate crimes. Oh. Okay. We also then got from Gateway Pundit, Pennsylvania Democrat Governor Wolf calls mass rioting and looting peaceful protests. 30 stores looted, reporters, and police attacked on night number 2. As reported earlier, mostly peaceful Black Lives Matter protesters rioted, looted, and attacked police in Philadelphia on Monday night after police shot a black man who was threatening them with a knife. The BLM believes the cops are to blame. They don't care. All cops are bad. All cops are... We say bad because we can't actually say the other word, but you guys know. And it's... the fact that he can then just say, these are mostly peaceful protests while 30 stores were looted? Dude, that's not peaceful at all. You are so wrong. Here then we got from the Gateway Pundit as well. Car rams through line of NYPD officers during Brooklyn Black Lives Matter riot. A car rammed through a line of NYPD police officers during the Black Lives Matter riot in Brooklyn on Tuesday evening. The attack on police comes one night after a truck driver in Philadelphia ran over a police officer during the riot. All right, I got to say here a bit, Cassandra, that this is not necessarily that correct here on the car ramming through. They didn't really ram through. They kind of nudged their way through while Antifa and Black Lives Matter were attacking their car. You can even hear glass shattering constantly. And the guy's just like, oh, I need to get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Oh, there's a line of police. Screw it, I'm going forward. I can't go backwards. They say violent thugs were out rioting in response to Philadelphia police fatally shooting a black man who was running at them with a knife on Monday. Here's a post on Twitter. Protesters took to the streets of Brooklyn earlier tonight for Walter Wallace. Lots of NYPD and corporate property was redecorated and adorned with radical artwork. Big banks had an especially eventful night. The condition of the officers who were struck has not been announced at time of publishing. In Philadelphia, Where did it say that they were struck? What? I guess the one from the vehicle. Sorry, you kind of like went off a little bit onto something else there, Cassandra, and then you came back to us. It was a little weird, a little jarring. In Philadelphia, there has been looting, arson, and violence against police for 2 nights straight. A black truck ran over a female police officer during the riot there on Monday evening. So it's getting chaotic. It's getting way too chaotic. So let's move over to the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. Mom and 4 experts to testify at Kyle Rittenhouse extradition hearing for Kenosha killings. Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyers expect to call his mother and 4 experts to testify at a hearing Friday on Wisconsin's efforts to extradite him to face homicide charges in Kenosha. Rittenhouse 17 shot and killed 2 people and wounded a 3rd during civil unrest in Kenosha on August 25th in the wake of a police officer shooting and paralyzing Jacob Blake 2 days earlier, blah, blah, blah. Though Rittenhouse walked toward police with his hands up, they ignored him. He later surrendered to police at his home in Antioch, Illinois. His mother, Wendy Rittenhouse, will testify about the circumstances of his arrest, according to court records. I don't know why you guys had to say, though Rittenhouse walked toward police with his hands up, they ignored him. That's a completely irrelevant sentence in this whole thing. Sorry, I kind of went off the page for a second. His defense team says Rittenhouse acted in clear self-defense and have criticized the complaint filed against him just 2 days later as a political prosecution. The lawyers announced from the start that Rittenhouse would challenge his extradition to Wisconsin. So I guess I got my fingers crossed for Kyle Rittenhouse. I saw the video. It does seem like very clear-cut self-defense, and I have faith in the lawyer that he has, because he got just a ton of money for the Covington kids, and it's probably a pretty good lawyer. I think Kyle Rittenhouse hopefully doesn't get charged with anything, or I mean, it's clear-cut self-defense. It's all you have to do is just watch the video. You realize that the guy was trying to come up upon him. There was a shot even right before Kyle started shooting, which could have made him a little bit more antsy, anxious, whatever, especially when another guy is coming up on him. It's a heated situation, and I think Kyle Rittenhouse probably did, the best to his ability that he could, especially then when a mob starts attacking you. Jeez. Man, you people are getting crazy. Just crazy. So I'll leave it there. We got one more video coming up in a minute on the Hunter Biden emails. Got a decent amount to talk about. So I'll see you then. Bye.